time in a period of history where there is a lot of conflict going on, and where even it's one of those times when it is very worrying looking at the world stage and wondering if we're going to see more war than there currently is. This is really the this has been the driving push behind getting together and talking together with other people of faith and other groups. Because there's many times we feel very helpless, like there's not a whole lot we can do. Wars are, fortunately, God be praised, we don't have any wars in Australia, but overseas there are countries where they're in war, and our heart goes out to the people who are suffering because of those wars. What can we do to help? Well, one thing we can, there are many things actually, but one of the things is that we can share our heart of peace, and we can remember that we are all one family under God, which is the theme of our gathering today.
So the truth shall make us free, why walk when we can fly? On the wings of God's true love, higher than the sky.
Okay, I'd like to welcome up our first guest, Randall Apps, to come and give us a little talk on the MEPI is the abbreviation, Middle East Peace Initiative, that he'll speak about. And this is something very, very close to the heart, especially because of the horrific escalation of the war currently in the Middle East. This was one of the real pushes for, especially Candace, who's had mission there. She really had a big heart to, Anyway, we'd love to share about the peace work that has been done in the past in the Middle East. I'll invite Randall up to talk more about it, so please make him feel welcome.
And the heart of it all is that God is our heavenly parent. You can go at it. The love of a father and the love of a mother is both real, but different. Does God lack one or the other? We're not saying that there's two gods. We're saying that there's one God that is the origin of both mankind and womankind, and can love as a father or as a mother, depending on as you want, because this is one God that has made us all. So that's when we came up with 3 minutes. Oh my gosh! That's when we came up with the Middle East Peace Initiative. We've got. We would go around. This actually say on there. From August 7 to August 20th, 2004. That's a couple of weeks. Because 7th included, so it is whooping busy. We went to the sensitive areas for Christians, the sensitive areas for Jews, the sensitive areas for Muslims. And also, have you heard of the Druze? Druze are like the father-in-law for Moses. That was one of the unique monotheistic groups around, and we also went there. We saw the burial place of Moses' father-in-law. We saw the burial place of King David. We went to see where Jesus was crucified and the tomb there as well. We also went to the Dome of the Rock. Now, the Dome of the Rock has the rock there that Abraham went to offer his son, and also the Muslims say that that is where Muhammad ascended. And so it's very protective by the Muslims. No one is allowed there. And for us, we came up to where the metal detectors were. There were 300 of us that went to this. And they turned the metal detectors on and said, yeah, come on in, that's all right, yeah, we trust you.
And symbol of peace is the dove. And also the olive branches are used as a symbol. And golden rule, regarding golden rule, we can say that is a principle of treating others as you would like to be treated. So golden rule is also used in different faiths, and like in Buddhism, whatever is disagreeable to yourself, don't do unto others. And that is also inner peace as well. Inner peace comes from accepting, like a state of calm and acceptance and contentment, which means being in harmony with yourself, with others, and for the world around you. Then we have worldly peace. What is worldly peace? How we can say peaceful world? I like this sentence: think globally, act locally. We can give example of McDonald's. They have global branches and menus and offering taste according to the market or the world. And also the peaceful world is a place of respect, freedom and unity. Worldly peace is temporary. According to Father Reverend Moon, worldly peace is temporary and dependent upon circumstances. God's peace offers a permanent solution. So you can read this book as well. Let us always remember, peace is opposite concept of a war. There is no war in peace. Peace, respect, freedom, unity, and removing of walls of religion and other things give us peace, and peace start from me. Peace start from you. So peace start from us. Peace being stability, brings stability, and live for the sake of, we can live for the sake of other if we have peace in our life or in our community or in our family. So we can say we are family under God, and we can declare end racism and build peace. We are birds of the same nest, wearing different skins, speaking different languages, believing in different religions, belonging to different cultures, yet we share the same home, our earth. Born on the same planet, covered by the same sky, gazing at the same stars, breathing the same air, we must learn to progress happily together. Early religions give the message, every religion gives the message of peace and love and unity. The beauty of every culture and faith create peace in our world. We have some example in Hinduism, Jainism, Judaism, and many other, Islam, and other religions. They speak about peace and harmony.
Thank you so much. I really enjoyed that. A couple of things you said there really stood out to me. You know, the God's peace is a permanent solution. I like that. That's a good one. That's a good one. I'm going to put that one away. And birds of the same nest. That's another thing. You know, like, well, that was just a beautiful, I thought, imagery in the mind that we're all in that same nest, like in that same globe. I like the nest sounds nicer than the globe, doesn't it? And prayer is a way of peace. Thank you. That is wonderful. Meditation too, am I right, Venerable? Wow. It is true, this is really a way of peace. I won't say too much because I don't know if Venerable will talk about it in her talk, but she shared this amazing thing about meditation affecting the peace of the world. Prayer and meditation, they are very important in the activities of peace. So thank you very much for your wonderful presentation, Bishop Nelson.
As one who has hope, I do believe that world peace is possible. But the key thing, as Dr. Nelson said, it has to start with me. I'd like to start my presentation with an invitation for all of us to gently close our eyes and reflect on these words. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know. Be still. Be. In this stillness, did you feel a sense of oneness? This sense of oneness is implicit in what we know as the Golden Rule, which states, as Dr. Nelson has already pointed out, and our talk is going to be somewhat similar, in everything do to others as you would have them do to you, for this is the law and the prophets. And I have here a chart with the Golden Rule taken from everyone's scriptures in different words, but actually saying the same thing. Really special. And I have that hanging up in my office. So it's a wonderful reminder that this is the starting point. And this is where world peace is possible. As mentioned earlier, the Interfaith Network to which I belong, and which is the oldest in Australia, started in 1989, it's supported by local council of the greater city of Dandenong. It has written a common statement of the faith communities represented in the municipality and is presented each year to the mayor and the councillors and the people of the city. And this is what the common statement says. And there are about 80 different religions represented in the greater city of Dandenong. We bring greetings from the faith communities to the mayor, councillors and people of the greater city of Dandenong. We offer to the city our common commitment to seek to live together in peace and goodwill. We affirm our desire to promote respect and tolerance for the integrity of each other's beliefs, cultures and traditions. This desire arises not only from our common humanity, but also from our being people of faith and people of prayer. We recognise that as neighbours, we have responsibilities to the community, the world and ourselves. We therefore urge all citizens, both religious and non-religious, to put aside intolerance, prejudice and divisiveness, to attain peaceful and fruitful coexistence in our city. And to see this happening within our community where the local government and ourselves are working in collaboration. It's been a wonderful thing. And recently, last year, Julian Hill, who's a local federal member, asked all the religious leaders for the area to come together and to share what was the main issue for their communities, so that government too could know what is affecting those communities. So there's a real drive by community, by federal and state and local communities to really embrace what the interfaith networks are trying to do. At a recent Harmony Day event, we had representatives from council and a keynote speaker, Jana Vivero. She's a Deputy CEO and Head of Systemic Change at the Asylum Seeker Resource Centre. Peter Johnson, the Coordinator of Community Advocacy at the Greater City of Dandenong, focusing on refugee policy, poverty relief and reconciliation. And Anisa Sharif, a Community Liaison Team Member of the Australian Federal Police, and an acclaimed mosaic artist, dedicated to fostering interfaith and multicultural understanding, coming together with faith leaders. That was a dynamic gathering of people.
So I'm going to take time to do this prayer, okay? And I will share the meaning afterwards, and we will then understand how beautiful it is. God says the man was created in his image, and today I need to remind we still know that I am God. So, it's possible for man to feel that if they are very still, not just sitting or lying down, but if their mind is really still. If we are selfish, self-centered, we still run with the gene code about I, me, myself, my business, we'll never be still. The still mind comes from losing the ego, losing the self. In the selflessness, there is this stillness. It's a very deep stillness, a very deep peace. It is in this peace we relax. The body goes into the parasympathetic and it naturally relaxes. When you're relaxed, you're very comfortable. When you're comfortable, you're happy. This is the recipe for happiness. When someone is happy, they always think of how can I offer this to the other? How can I help another being to elevate their suffering, their unhappiness, their the stress? How can I help them? But if you are not up to fill, if your tank is not full, then always it's about I, me, myself. Why it's happening to me, why no one is helping me, I need help, it's about my rights, it's all about I, me, myself, as long as we are thinking about ourselves. But if we are filled to the brim with peace and happiness, then we start to radiate and share what we have. So the world peace flows from within. So we just can't have that stillness if we are selfish. If we learn to practice selflessness, in the selflessness naturally, this peace that we are longing to, this stillness that we can see the God within us, we can touch that. So with that, I will conclude my talk. And Buddha is always practical. It's always practical how we can bring peace on earth. First you should, then it will radiate to others. I can assure that whoever sits next to me, whoever is around me, I will never shoot you, I'll never hurt you. And if we all can do that to each other, to the neighbors, to the villages, to the countries, there is world peace. So it all comes from within. So thank you so much for inviting me.
Peaceful prayer that was. Really beautiful. Thank you very much for sharing that with us. It was great. I also, the teachings within it, of course I couldn't understand, I could only catch the feeling, but as you explained the teachings within it, very beautiful teachings of heart. No anger, no jealousy, don't destroy one another, and practice the heart of a parent to all living things. Wonderful. That's absolutely wonderful. To all living things, broaden your heart to all living beings. And your final point, talking about the world peace comes from within. This is truly an amazing thing Buddhism has really excelled at. I think they really focus on the bring peace in your heart. So it's really incredible. Thank you so much, sister, for your sharing. So there is, we've heard a lot about peace today, and we many times hear it, and there's, it always brings back to the question, because how do we really attain that substantial peace? What's a good method? And we've heard many good methods today. It's been very incredible. When we consider the world stage, what is the way that on the global stage they work for peace? And that's usually accords between politicians. This is usually the method that it is done by, is that we see that really is not a very substantial way of peace, because it's only temporary. Like what Pastor Nelson said about it, it's only God's peace is the permanent one. Religions are seekers of peace. This is a group of the religious leaders in front of the UN building. They are seekers of peace. Within each one, as our sister Anita put up this, it has the golden rule in all religion. They all have great cause in order to search for peace and in order to develop it. Wars are incredibly terrible. And as we've seen in the last century, we saw an incredible size and scale of war that we haven't seen before. And that's, of course, that was the catalyst. That we had the Great War and then the Second World War, and it was after that they really, well, after the Great War they had the League of Nations, and after the Second World War they finally said, let's get together and make sure this doesn't happen. Let's make the UN, and we invite everyone. It's absolutely the worst scourge upon humanity is when we get together and kill each other. It is absolutely horrendous, and we all, deep down, we all really know it's the case. And when it's a religious war, this is even more difficult, because then we feel justified to kill each other, not just by our state, but by a greater power. It really turns into an incredibly horrific war. But another point that, as I was contemplating this, I was thinking, what about where they, as terrible as war and religious war can be, what about when there even is no concept of God? Atheistic communism during peacetime killed nearly 100 million of their own people. It's really blows my mind to think about, because I cannot even comprehend such a number. And that was in peacetime. That wasn't even in war, to kill this many people. What was the value of a human being in their ideology and understanding? Religious people and religious-minded people, righteous people, people of conscience, understand that human beings each have an intrinsic value, that we are more than just how much we can produce when we work. That is not the value of a human being. There is something deeper and much more fundamental to us as embodiments of truth, let us say. All religions agree on this point. There is some divine value in the human being. That's an incredible starting point to peace. That is a very important, I feel, understanding that human beings must adopt. You don't have to be religious, but surely they can be righteous to understand that concept. Because when we lose that concept, then we start to really, well, we've seen the result of it in the last century. From our movement, Father Moon, he put it like this. He said, we are one family under God. This is not an alien concept. This is, many religions have this level of concept, right? How do we make peace between people? How do we make the road of peace between them? How can we bring them together? Should politicians be the answer? I really don't think politicians are the answer to any question, to be honest. But it's not something. They stand for their interest groups. You know, politicians have their place. They do their thing. But they always stand on behalf of an interest group of some kind, of whether it's a group of people or what have you. And of course, you can make agreements there and find ways out of conflict. Very important. Diplomats, politicians, they do these things. Usually they are very guided by, they're people, they can be guided by a goodness too. So funny that I have to proclaim politicians to be people too. Okay, I'll stop with the jokes. But so long as we have barriers between us, someone can say, hey look, it's us and them. Peace will only ever be temporary until we really find a way to overcome that kind of this us and them mentality. So Father Moon provided a very interesting solution to that, which our movement is quite famous for doing. That's the marriage blessing, or they say the mass weddings. We say the marriage blessing, the blessing upon your marriage. And when Father Moon and Mother Moon started this, they had a very clear concept of it's not just facilitating a marriage, but let's see if we can get enemy peoples to marry each other. And they started that. They are Korean, right? And they started that with the Korean and Japanese blessings. That idea, they said, let's start with there, and then let's see where we can go with this.
So, in this book, there is a passage about perfection from Buddhism, Jainism, Hinduism, Taoism, Sikhism, Confucianism, Islam, and Christianity. Incredible. So I'll read a couple of them quickly, there's not much. From Buddhism, a novice asked Buddha, what is goodness and what is greatness? The Buddha replied, to follow the way and to hold to what is true is good. When the will is in conformity with the way, that is greatness. Islam, none of you truly believes until your inclination is in accordance with what I have brought. Christianity, and this is a big one you hardly hear Christians quote, Matthew 5:48, you therefore must be perfect as your Heavenly Father. It's a goal we seldom aspire to. So, all directing their followers to be as good as they can be. Now, the reason I'm putting all this forward is because to make this world a world of peace, we should seek out and support the people of the largest influence. Not just our own people around us, but to be able to bring peace. I can't bring the President of a nation to listen to what I have to say, but some people can. And those who can, we should support. I can remember going to see the Dalai Lama when he came into town. No problem. Loved it. No. So we have to support those people. It's actually a truth that to be successful, for our course that we're following, to be successful, it is only as successful as the highest living, practicing person of that path today. It's okay to worship Buddha, Christ, whatever. But who is the highest practicing person in your form of faith? Because if they're becoming less and less zealous, then it's not progressing, is it? So you have to be honest and seek out the people of your faith that are practicing, you think are the highest practicing people, and support them. So, in my life, my own personal experience is that Sun Myung Moon is a person who has embodied every word in this book. And I have not had a lot of experience close to him, but I have some. And I can tell you, it is just an incredible person. I can remember going on a workshop for 1 month where we only slept 4 hours, and he was up and went to bed every day after us. So he's a man of word and deed. He has passed on now and left the mission to bring world peace to his wife, Pak Jahan. And the foundation is incredible. She is bringing current world leaders together. So there is a great hope that this can actually be achieved, and she is saying that she wants to achieve that in her lifetime. So let's have hope.
Sure.
Let's do it. Thank you.